So universities across the UK, across the world, tend to compete. They compete for staff, for students, for research awards, for government funding. Yet they're all in very different competitions. They've got different strengths, different purposes, especially if they are hosted in a region. And that's certainly true of Queen's University here. But all universities invest in the future. They invest in the future of young people, the future of the economy. For Northern Ireland, that is the future. We play a very important role in making that difference. So for me, when I thought about Control, Alt, Delete in this environment, the question I asked was, what is the role of universities in today's world? So obviously education is a key purpose of any university, of every university. Our graduates from Queen's are highly sought after. We've got incredibly high levels of employability. We do more. We do a very good job in diversity and inclusion. We bring an international dimension to Belfast, and we take Belfast onto the global stage. We also are very successful in widening participation, ensuring equality of opportunity no matter what your background is, allowing people to really deliver their own personal success and obviously contribute to the economy. But there are changes coming. Students are demanding a different type of experience. They're no longer seeking experience in a single discipline. Often it's multiple disciplines or cross-disciplinary work that they want to take on, and they want to do work that's focused on major challenges. And they want courses with business or industry engagement. So we need different approaches to provide that for them. We need to work with industry and business, and we need to think about new ways of delivering education, especially through the technologies that have been accelerated during COVID. It goes further because throughout our working life, we'll change what we do several times. So reskilling and upskilling has become critically important for universities and for our students. So when I think about Control, Alt, Delete again on the education context, I think about working across disciplines, working across sectors, working across different technologies to make a difference. When it comes to research, universities do a good job too. They've often got areas in which they excel, and Queen's is no different from any other university. We've got strengths in areas such as law and politics, agriculture and health, cybersecurity and engineering, and our work delivers enormous impact. Just think of our shared education work, which has transformed communities that are divided across the globe. We also commercialise research, and Queen's does that very well. We deliver many spin-out companies, new and better jobs, making a real difference to our economy. But there are changes, because in research terms, the big questions require many disciplines to collaborate, working across disciplines, across sectors to make a real difference. Just think about the interaction between, say, data science and medicine that can bring better patient services and better patient outcomes by applying data science to medicine and biology. Or if we think about climate change, that requires an integrated solution from engineering to politics to really deliver a difference. So to address these challenges, we have to collaborate across disciplines within a university, across universities, we have to work with industry, we have to work with government, we have to work across communities and across countries. A really good example is the Belfast Region City deal. That's an innovation deal, an injection into our economy to make it better, make it brighter, to give us a better future. And that's only worked because of the universities working together with business, industry, local, regional, and national government. So in research terms, when I think of Control, Alt, Delete, again, I think about that collaboration. Internally across disciplines, externally with business and industry, working with governments, all focused to deliver on the work we need for our society and for our economy. When we think about what universities like Queen's do, the overall deliverable is much bigger than the sum of the parts. Queen's has an annual contribution to the economy of almost £2 billion. So we do more than just teaching and research. And what might that be? Well, one of the important areas a thread that's been running through this talk so far, is the thread of collaboration. We have to work together to deliver that greater impact, a better return on the investment, greater efficiency, and indeed, greater success. So in tertiary education, what could we imagine by collaborating together? We could imagine a tertiary education system that takes further education, colleges, and universities and puts them together in a single integrated system for our region, increasing both educational and social mobility. No matter where you start, you can go anywhere. You can move between institutions, between subject areas, with what your learning has achieved being recognized in the process. Think of the doors that would open up for people in Northern Ireland to achieve their aspirations and deliver for the economy. In research, we can also work across cognate areas. When we think about the regional agenda in research, we often hear about levelling up initiatives. The Levelling Up Initiative is perhaps peculiar to the UK, and what it's about trying to raise the game for regions across the UK so that they can deliver as much economic impact as, say, London. And the so-called second-tier cities in the UK have a gap in productivity between London and the South East and them. So levelling up is about making them better, if you will. But for me, that's difficult to do in isolation. Very few regions have the capacity, the capability, the facilities to put everything together to make a real difference, to deliver that step change. For me, levelling up actually means linking up. It means taking areas with cognate strengths or resources and putting them together to deliver for our regional economy and our national economy. So to do that linking up, we again need collaboration. It's not just enough to deliver some regional funding. If we want sustainable impact on our economy, we have to be linked up with these cognate areas to make a big difference. A rising tide of innovation and investment can lift all of the regions if we work together in a cohesive way. So the third role then of universities, beyond teaching and research, I believe is through their convening power to make a difference. We've got the ability to bring groups of people, different organisations together, both here in Northern Ireland, in any region, and across the UK, and even across the world, to make a real difference. That's a power that I think we need to use more often, especially in the changing world, when we want to drive that collaborative approach and make a real difference to people's lives. So I believe we've got a responsibility to deliver that collaboration by working together, and universities can lead that change. And I'd like to see Queen's do more of that in the years ahead. Thank you very much.